Hello and welcome to the Stoke City preview show. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And we're at the Pear at Parley once again. The weather's been temperamental. There was a bit of sleet just a minute ago, a bit of rain, but now look at it, mate. It's beautiful.
Ever the professionals, mate. Still out here. Just took a little bit of cover for a moment, and then we come back out to do the job. Because content, it's all about content on this channel.
It's all about the content. And look, if you're a fan of Bournemouth and you haven't subscribed, what you're doing, understandably, you might be a fan of Stoke City or another EFL club, and that little red button isn't grey. But by turning it grey, by pressing the subscribe button, what do they get, mate?
Oh, they get so much content, and it's not just Bournemouth, is it? We do all the Championship, really, cover everything. So yeah, and you can go and have a look if you're a Stoke fan at our away day review we gave them earlier in the season when we went up to Stoke on a midweek night, but got the win, didn't we?
Yeah,
but yeah, there's loads of content there, so we really appreciate it if you click the old subscribe button and the like, get it out to more people.
Yeah, absolutely. So on this show, we review Parker's presser. Yesterday afternoon at 1:30, he was at Dean Court in a repaired Vitality Stadium, and he was given all the latest team news. We've also got news on the opposition as well, pubs and predictions, and also our predicted 11 as well. And look, there's content galore over the next few days. Of course, after the Stoke City game, there'll be the fan cams. As soon as we can get them uploaded, we will. And then the matchday vlog on Sunday as well. We all know people love a bit of that.
Love the vlog, yeah. It's always good to see our experience of the day, and hopefully it'll be a good one, mate.
Hopefully, this will be our third time lucky in terms of getting a game on. So Nottingham Forest postponed because of stadium damage. Swansea City postponed because of stadium damage. But from what people were saying yesterday, I think Tom Crocker from the Echo put this, Jacob Tanswell, Chris Temple, looks as though everything's been repaired and it should all be ready for us.
Yeah, seems like it should be alright. We couldn't do it, kind of in that 24 hours that Forest wanted. But obviously, as Forest said, we were obviously just scared of them because they've won one game in 4, so they're quite frightening at the moment. And then we obviously went to Swansea and told them to call that off as well. But no, in all seriousness, it looks like we've had a few days to be able to get the damage sorted. So yeah, looking forward to finally getting back out there, mate, and watching them. It feels like ages.
And Forest obviously put in that dominant 0-0 performance against Preston. Preston, I'll tell you what, they looked good, and they had the lion's share of chances, and Archer should have notched when he was put through, but inexplicably put it wide. And Forest did rally a few times in the game, but they didn't exactly look to be this powerhouse that I was worrying about from some of their earlier form. So I don't know, that will be an interesting matchup, but it's been put later in the year.
Yeah,
we have got a hell of a schedule, haven't we, later on in the season, mate? Oh my god,
we have. Yeah, it looks going to be hard on the legs, but it's for a big squad, which fortunately we have, so hopefully we can get through that period. But yeah, you're welcome to Nottingham Forest, because obviously by the time we play them, they might have their top scorer back. They've been missing in a 0-0 draw, I thought. So yeah, you're welcome for that. But yeah, it's going to be a tough run-in. We knew it would be anyway, but let's get the points on the board before that run-in, mate. And as we keep saying, the teams in and around us are not that consistent. So hopefully we can get a few wins coming up now before that, and we'll be fine.
So with the Swansea matches and Nottingham Forest with new dates confirmed, AFC Bournemouth will be playing 10 games in the space of 36 days, culminating, of course, on that home match on the last day of the season. We've got 2 home matches to end the season, so you know what, if that's what it needs to pull us through, hopefully we'll be confirmed promoted, especially given the way that everyone's dropping points. Hopefully we won't need those 2 games, but if we do, at least we've got hopefully a raucous Vitality Stadium to bring the lads home.
Yeah, I mean, it's unheard of, really, isn't it, having 2 games at home back to back at the end of the season. So we need to try and take advantage of that if, as you say, if it's necessary. I'm hoping it won't be, but if we get up, let's just get up. Any means necessary, and that's a nice little run to end it. But yeah, I mean, 10 games in 36 days. We're gonna have to quit our jobs, mate. I don't know how we're gonna get the content out, but we will. When do
you think about it? Preview for every game, vlog for every game, fan cam for every game. I don't think there's going to be time for much else.
No.
Maybe the odd weekly second look or whatever. But as soon as the international break at the end of March concludes, it's the final 10 games to go, and we'll give it the back of the net treatment. So make sure you're subscribed. Look, here's the league table at the moment. This is where we're at. Fulham, they managed to beat Peterborough. The Posh rallied late on, but They scored very late, wasn't enough time, so they've got a convincing 9-point lead, albeit they have played 2 more games than us. Bournemouth are on 58 points at the moment, and then you've got QPR, who've played 3 games more, on 56, Huddersfield, Blackburn, Sheffield United and Middlesbrough 2. That is how the league table is looking at the moment. So just as we're coming out of that, it looks like it is starting to rain here. It's Tom, the conditions aren't particularly great here.
It's not great. It's rain. There's a bit of sleet. Everything's getting damp. It's horrible. But you know what?
What?
I got an idea.
Mate, whereabouts have you taken me to?
Mate, I've had a word. Now the lovely people at the Pear seen the weather and said, you know what? You're doing a pod. Why not do it in a pod? And they've given us you describe it as a pod, wouldn't you? We've shown it on the channel before, haven't we, from the outside? But it's lovely in here. I mean, you can come and have a meal in here, you can have a few drinks in here. But yeah, there was one free, and it is still raining, and they've let us come in here to do the rest of the video. Very nice of them.
So these are the woodland dining pods at the Pear at Parley, and look, they're £10 per person for hiring it. You can hire it for 4 hours, and you get a maximum of about 14 people in this place.
That's not bad at all.
Just speak to the guys at the Pear at Parley. Sam organised this for us today. Sam, absolute hero. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Loves an away day, Sam, as well.
Loves an away day.
He's been at Blackpool. He's been there.
And as you can see, I mean, how nice is this? What a different vibe for your party of some kind or your family gathering. And look, there's even a log burner in here as well. So we are toasty. We've got board games too, and it's so nice in here. And there are a couple, so there are 2 of them. So definitely consider the Pear at Parley next time you come in this area or want a family dining event or whatever. Beautiful stuff.
Really nice, mate. I've been around this way for a number of years, and I've always liked this pub. But I've always felt like they've got such a big outside out. They need to do. There's so much potential with it, and putting these in here has been bang on. And really like them, mate. And lovely way to do a pod as well, isn't it? I love it.
Absolutely superb. And what's also superb, as we just saw, was that league table. But you know what? QPR in the week, they managed to pull a last-minute winner out of the bag. I thought for a minute that we were going to get away with just seeing them get 1 point, but they didn't. But elsewhere, as we've sort of mentioned, Nottingham Forest, they've dropped points as well. Sheffield United, though, they're still winning games.
Yeah, fortunately they beat, it was Blackburn, wasn't it? So they beat a team around us, which was nice. But yeah, I think QPR, that's a big statement from them. They went down to 10 men, got back to 1-1, and you're thinking, well, Blackpool are going to be the team now, and they managed to get a win, QPR. So that shows their character after having a bit of a blip. Sheffield United are certainly coming, but I said the teams we're worrying about, we've got a gap on them. People always say, I'd rather the points on the board than the games in hand. We've got both.
Yeah.
Because we're in second, and we've got games in hand. So we're in such an unbelievable position with an outrageous squad. So, yeah, we've got to kick on from here, mate. The pressure's on us, but we should be able to do it now.
Yeah, certainly hope so. So, shall we find out what happened at yesterday's presser?
Go on then.
Yeah, so yesterday Scott Parker had his presser at Dean Court. We've got the nuts and bolts of it for you. And Jacob Tanswell reported that Adam Smith and Ethan Laird are back in contention. So they're available for it. Would that dislodge Jack Stacey for you? Adam Smith's got the experience.
He could do. I think Stacey he's had a few off games, but lately he's been decent. And Stacey is a blooming good right back. You get in most teams in this league. I think we've got 3 right backs. I know Laird predominantly plays as a wing back. He did at Swansea, but we've got 3 right backs that get in most teams in this league. 3 of them, and now all being available, it's going to be really interesting. I think Laird and Smith also offer a bit of versatility as well, as I mentioned there. Laird can, means it's flexible with the system. Smithy, we've seen him operate in loads of positions, but yeah, we'll come on to it when we do our 11. But normally, if Smith's available, Smith plays. And I'm hearing they might have both been available for the previous games that were postponed. Okay, so they've had a bit of time now. So be interesting. Stacey hasn't done a lot wrong, and I wouldn't be up in arms if Stacey kept his spot and it was kind of like it's yours to lose now. But equally, we've got two really good players competing for that spot. So, yeah, really positive, mate, in terms of them two.
Yeah, and also Ryan Christie, Scott Parker said, has drastically improved, but he is still out. But he might be available to play for Scotland next month, but not for us. What was the issue with him again?
I'm not even sure. But I remember thinking when he was out, I think it won't be long, hopefully he'll be back for Forest. But obviously, you know, we're a week after that and he's still not available, which is a shame. But they're saying that his promising signs don't look long term, so I'm kind of expecting him to maybe be back the following week. But yeah, we're going to miss him, but equally, the performances of, you know, we rely on Jaden Anthony in terms of, you know, the work he does backwards, and Scott Parker clearly likes him, and the fact that Dembele done really well on his first start means that we're probably okay for a game, because I thought both of them played well. So we've still got good options, but I'd much rather us be a bit cautious with Christie, because I think it'll be really key for the running. Yeah,
absolutely. We also know that Stanislas and Brady are longer term absentees, so we're not going to see them for
Brady?
a while. Who is Brady? Exactly. Also, Lerma, this is the second of his 4-game ban as well. So no Jefferson Lerma, but you know, with the absentees, with the new blood coming in, you feeling confident over this one?
Yeah, I think I'm quietly confident. I think, listen, we're not going to be overly confident. We've lost to worse teams than Stoke at home this season, in my opinion. I thought when we went there, it was to go away to Stoke and nick a 1-0 was bang on, ideal, really good performance. They've surprised me in the sense that they're not knocking on the door more for the playoffs, actually, when I look at their squad. Come on to it a bit, but they've got some decent players, and they're always going to be a tricky game. They're always the type of team that you'd go, it's never a banker against Stoke. But having said that, I'd like to think we've got too much quality. We've had a nice little break. They haven't exactly, you know, pulled up any trees in the meantime. So yeah, I'd like to think we'll have a bit too much, but it certainly won't be a comfortable game. We're still missing a few. Lerma we know is key. Having said that, like we said about Dembele with Christie, I thought Lewis Cook was brilliant against Blackpool in that role. So we have got players in that role. So, you know, we're going to miss him for a few more after this, so we need to show we can cope without him. And yeah, they've had some work on the training ground. They've had a few games off. So I'm quietly confident, as I say, mate.
Excellent. So shall we remind ourselves of what happened at the Bet365 when we went up there last year?
God, please do.
Great start!
The difference between the Premier League and Championship, you're 1-0 down here.
Love it, love it. Dom Solanke, right place, right time. It was that shot that was parried away, but Dom Solanke showing a striker's instinct, and that's what we all like to see. I don't think it was a brilliant performance by us, but it was a performance where we were really dogged, and that at the time, that's what we were doing week in, week out, and that's one thing we sort of lost for a bit in December, but hopefully we're going to get that back. But it was a bit of a skanky win, but we got the win.
Yeah, exactly. And as I mentioned, I think you go to Stoke, everyone takes any sort of win at Stoke. And I think, as you said, at that time...
And it was all the conditions as well. Tuesday night, windy, wet, horrible.
It was Can we do it? We can. And it was one of them games where I thought if we could just nick a goal, we looked at that time like we can keep clean sheets all day long, and we showed that. I remember they had a bit of a spell at the end. They actually brought in Sam Surridge, who's since left, and I think he done all right. And Campbell, it was like his first game back, who now is starting to do well for him. And they certainly caused a few problems and were difficult, as I expect them to be. But I think actually most teams in this league would probably go, if you go to Stoke, you get a point, you get out of it. Yeah. Happy days. So the win there, I thought was a real statement and showed that we could do that side of the game and win 1-0. So I was really impressed that night. And at home, I like to see us have too much from again. And if we can get 6 points off Stoke, that's a really good showing in the Championship.
So let's check out our opposition then, eh? Yeah, so this is all about Stoke City. And look, after Bournemouth's victory at the Bet365 in October earlier this season, with 13 games played at that point in time, the Cherries were 6 points clear at the top of the table. And Michael O'Neill's Stoke were in 6th place. Since that game, the Potters, well, they've had mixed results, and after 32 games, they're lying 14th position in the table with 44 points, so a bit of a drop-off. Now, since our travels to Stoke-on-Trent, they, in their next 9 games, they beat Blackpool, Luton Town, QPR, Hull. They drew with Huddersfield, Nottingham Forest, lost at Millwall, Bristol City and Coventry City. That's on their travels alone. They were at home in their last game on Wednesday night where they lost 2-0 against Luton Town, and Luton Town are doing all right, aren't they?
They're doing all right. They are. We kind of spoke about it briefly, didn't we, when we went to Luton, and I thought they were a good side and they scored late against us, but they're the team I kind of thought, next season, but I'll tell you what, it wouldn't shock me if they went and got into them playoffs. Got a bit of momentum behind them now. They're a good side. And listen, Stoke are, like I expect, really, they're quite consistently inconsistent. But having said that, in the run-in, when I want teams to do us a favour, I don't mind if Stoke are playing them. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
I reckon other teams will be going, tell you what, Bournemouth got a tough game against Stoke. Yeah. You know, they're the type of team that can get them sort of results. And they got a few players back they didn't have last time, so it's going to be a tricky one, mate.
I was quite interested to, when they were playing Luton, I thought, they're that type of team that I don't really think you can judge Stoke on any game against Luton or whoever's playing Luton, because Luton are a good side at the moment, so you can't say. And look, we went there and lost 3-2 with that last minute winner for them, which wasn't particularly good. Now, the last time that Cherries played Stoke at Dean Court was at the end of last season, where we were looking at the fixtures and we were thinking, okay, we thought we were going to get wins when we didn't. Yeah. And one of the losses, it's always difficult against the Potters, but we lost 2-0. And then that was the match that effectively made us play Brentford over 2 legs rather than hopefully in that single-legged final at Wembley.
It was the last home game, wasn't it? Yeah. We had Stoke and Wickham, didn't we? And we lost them both. And Woodgate at the time, maybe you would have changed it in hindsight, but it's easy to say that. I could see what he was doing, rested all our key players for them 2 games because we'd cemented our place in the playoffs. Looking back on it, you think that meant they come in a bit cold against Brentford, but we did win the first leg against Brentford. Yeah. So it's a difficult one, but Stoke took full advantage, didn't they? And they were a difficult outfit, and in both games they're a tricky side, mate. And I never count your chickens against Stoke. They've got experienced players with a few kind of younger players coming through there. They've got a nice balance. They're the type of team that it wouldn't shock me next season if they were knocking on the door. Hasn't quite happened for them this season, but as I say, I think they've got a few players in there that are maybe not over the hill, but getting to that stage. And I like to think that if we press well and we show that attacking intent, that we might have a little bit too much quality for them, especially going forward.
Now, in AFC Bournemouth's home games against Stoke City, we've won 5, drawn 5, lost 4. So look, we've got a slight edge there. In all competitions, we've won 10, drawn 7, lost 14. They're going to be a difficult side to play. And interestingly, did you see the news about a certain ex-Stoke City manager, I think only a couple of days ago?
Yeah, I did. He gone to Bradford. Yeah. Which is a weird one. I mean, I don't particularly rate Mark Hughes, and he was a scummer at the end of the day. Nothing against Stoke, by the way. He was Southampton manager, if you're a Stoke fan watching. Yeah. And we not particularly friendly with them, but he's League Two? I mean, how have they got him? I don't know how Bradford have managed that. He's got Premier League experience at the end of the day, but that's a big statement from them. But yeah, I forget about him because it doesn't feel like he's been in management for a long time, does it? And he tried to get Stoke playing, brought in the likes of Bojan and Arnautovic.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they were quite an exciting team for a time. But yeah, see how he gets on there. It'll be interesting. But yeah, weird to see him back in management. I kind of thought he was gone now, if you know what I mean. But yeah, all the best to him. But yeah, I'm glad to see him not too close to us because he always seems to get a result against us. He used to wind me out.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of their team news, players who've been out injured recently for the Potters include Mario Vranches. He was at Norwich for a bit, wasn't he? Also Abdallah Sima and Harry Suter as well. Josh Timon went off injured in the home game against Luton Town on Wednesday night, so that remains to be seen whether he's going to be in action. And they have brought in a few players in January, some signed, others on loan. And look, there's a few players to look out for as well. Nick Powell, he's an important player for them. Hasn't played that many games for him this season, but in the games that he has started, Stoke have actually won 5 and drawn 3, so he's integral to that. And in the 21 games he hasn't started, they've won just 7. Also, Tyrese Campbell as well, a good player for him.
Yeah, I mean, when we played them at their place, Nick Powell came off, if anyone remembers, quite early injured, and that was quite a big moment.
Yeah.
And Tyrese Campbell, it was his first game back, because they went mad when he come on. So it was his first game back. So they're 2 players that we didn't really see properly in that reverse fixture, and they're a real handful. And I'm sure you're going to, as you said, about some of the new signings. Josh Maja, they've got in. I remember him banging in goals for Sunderland. Remember seeing it on the old documentary for Sunderland. He's a good striker. He'll cause problems. And Lewis Baker, they got in from... he was a youngster at Chelsea.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they've got him on a free. And he started he's hit the ground running for them.
Three goals in the last 4 games or something?
Yeah, so I think him, Maja, Powell, Campbell, there's 4 players there that weren't really involved when we played them last time. So yeah, we've got a few as well. But they got good players. And I think they're almost looking at it and going, they ain't going to go down, they ain't going to go up. They've got some good players ready for next season, I think, and trying to build a little bit. So, yeah, they've certainly improved, and they're going to be a tougher test than when we went there, in my opinion.
Do you find that matches against Stoke, we'll do the predictions next, but do you find matches against Stoke are always very difficult to predict? Because from memory, they've never been high-scoring affairs, have they?
No, I kind of remember in the Premier League us losing at home on the last day or near the end.
Yeah, vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I think it might be 3-1 or something like that. But then I've been to Stoke and we've won. I think it was Ake's debut, we won 1-0.
Yeah.
I've been to Stoke and we've lost. I think Arnautovic scored. Yeah. They've always been, as you say, quite tight games. I suppose that was kind of when we went up to the Premier League, they were kind of in and around it with us. Yeah. We were kind of battling it out. So it was always quite tight games where both teams sussed each other out. And I think it's one of them. I think now you're kind of looking at it going, when we go there, you kind of go, the point's not bad. When they come to us, they go, the point's not bad. Still quite tight. And I expect it to be the same again, mate. I expect it to be a tight game.
I don't know how their fans feel, but it seems like they've adapted well to Championship life after the parachute payments, because I gather, I can't remember when they were relegated, but it feels like a while ago now, so all of them are gone. But they're not a team that you think are going to be in any trouble. Whereas, there are some sides, like Huddersfield last season didn't look particularly good. They've had a kind of recent renaissance a little bit. But there are a few sides that get relegated from the Premier League, and if they don't hit the ground running, they only look like they're going south. Whereas I think, they've very much stabilised again. And under Michael O'Neill, who is a good manager, they're looking, just to hopefully improve. And like you said, you never know, they could be up there.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they've done. I mean, they've gone to the Premier League, which was a real surprise at the time. They managed to knock on the door of Europe and things like that. They've gone down, and then you think panic. Worry if we don't go straight back up, which they didn't. But what they've managed to do is they've taken a step back, but they're starting to take that one forward now. And I feel like whether it's not next year, they'll knock on the door the year after. I feel like you say, they've gone back down and then they're just gradually building themselves back up. And I don't see any worry for them in terms of being in any sort of relegation scrap in the Championship. They might have a few more seasons here, but I think they'll start knocking on the door again. And they seem like they're getting a decent kind of a new group in that can then compete again near the top end of the Championship. So yeah, they're a team that are going in the right direction now, I feel, after a few steps back.
Interesting. Okay, so look, the referee for this game is Tim Robinson. Previously this season, he ref for our game against Luton Town. We all know what happened there. That was a 2-1. And also the away at Fulham as well, where we all enjoyed the start of the second half in the concourse, not knowing which team's goal had just been put in the net, because honestly, it was one of those neutral away ends, but it was Dom Solanke. What a goal that was. But alas, Fulham equalised, and look, maybe it's going to be us two that get promoted. We don't know. But in terms of predictions, how are you feeling about it? We're going to do it now. But you'll notice it's called Pubs and Predictions. That's because we will also provide Stoke fans with a quick link to our away fans guide. And if you're an away fan, mate, there's a plethora of beautiful places to drink out.
Big it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant down here. If the weather's nice, go where you like.
Yeah.
Go where you like. If it's not, and you're dropped off the coach, you'll probably be directed into Boscombe, where there's the Mellow Bar, and also Marroy's opposite. You've got the Bell in Folkestone, that's all right. You've got the Cricketers, which is a nice place on Wyndham Road. The Firkin Shed, very small kind of microbrewery style bar with loads of different types of ales and bitters and craft lagers, that kind of thing. But why not check it out on our away day fans guide? The link is in the card at the top of the screen. We'll also pop it below for you, because if you're a Stoke City fan, try to make the most of the weekend. Hopefully that'll help you. And it's not that bad, is it?
No, it's not that bad. And like I say, you got a decent mix in terms of, you mentioned there, like the Cricketers and Ferguson. You're probably going to get a mix in there. You might get a few Bournemouth fans, but then nice pubs. But then equally, if you want to kind of get that spirit of you all being there, all away fans, then pop in the Mellow, be fine.
Yeah.
Have a few beers. It is what it is. Like you say, if the weather's all right, it'll be a nice day for you. I mean, going to Stoke one exactly. We went to Stoke on a Tuesday night, right? So right. Yeah, we went to Harvester. I think I've been in one before. It's like a sports complexy type one. So yeah, it is what it is. But you'll be fine. You'll enjoy your day until the 90 minutes. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's what's hoped. And look, there are a few websites that I'm looking at who are providing fans with some misinformation by saying that there's a Weatherspoons in Boscombe. That's no longer the case. It closed a few years ago. The nearest Weatherspoons in Lansdowne. It's called the Christopher Creek. About a 25-30 minute walk if you've got a bit of a pace on. It's not a bad walk down Holdnurst Road by any stretch of the imagination, but that's where your nearest sort of 99p bottle of Beck's can be bought from. Right then, in terms of your predictions, put them below, down below. We should be winning. The league table says we should be winning. Yeah.
Many things say we should be winning, but I don't feel as though it's going to be a match where we'll blow them away. I think it's going to be a little sneaky one.
Yeah, I probably agree. I don't see many games this season us blowing teams away. I don't think that's the way we've played this season. But yeah, Fulham aside, at home we're going to be favourites, and we should have too much. We've had a nice little break. Yeah, we should have enough, in my opinion. It's a difficult one. I as you said, mate, I think it's going to be a sneaky one. I could see a 1-0 again. I mean, I keep predicting 1-0, to be fair, but I could see it. I can see a 1-0. I tell you what, though, I reckon Todd Cantwell first goal for the club.
Oh,
that's
nice.
That's my little tip. I think Todd Cantwell gets first goal for the club. So that's my little tip for this one. But I do think it'll be a tight game, whether it's 1-0, 2-1, maybe even 1-1. I think it'll be a tight one. But I'm hoping that we'll have a little bit too much, because we need to be winning our home games. If we win all our home games, we're up. Do you know what I mean? So just get that home record going, get it pumping in there. We should have too much.
It's interesting. I was reading a story on the Daily Echo website earlier this week about Todd Cantwell, and he explained that when travelling down to the south coast, he came with his mother on the day that he signed, and he explained how his family was such a big role in helping him to make his decision. And he said that most people probably thought I was joking about that, but I genuinely did ask my family's opinion. He went on to say, it's very important that I value it. They've never angled me in the wrong direction. As long as I've got those people around me, I'll have my ears open for them. And it's also nice to have familiar faces around. And I saw the interview with him on AFCB TV when he signed. He seems to be very grounded, doesn't he?
He does. And I think we spoke about this a bit before, and he come through the ranks at Norwich, and I think, and he's been obviously a massive success for Norwich over the years. Sometimes you need a fresh start. He's not been anywhere else, and sometimes you kind of need that. You need like a clean slate and start again. But because he's only ever been at Norwich, he's probably thought, well, I need to make it the right club.
Absolutely. And
we've sold him something, and he's obviously happy to come down there. And I think he kind of wants to rejuvenate his career again, because he was knocking on the England door not too long ago, and I think he wants to give it again. And I think the few games we've seen him, we've seen the quality he's got, and he brings a nice, expressive kind of the way he plays, he looks like he just loves football and just wants to express himself and I think he could be really crucial for us. I think only thing is just making sure he stays fit, and I think he could be the difference in my opinion. That's how good I think he can be.
And let's hope that expression is not withheld. Let's hope that it's not kind of looked upon as a bad thing, because he's only ever been brilliant from what I've seen for Norwich. Obviously, Norwich fans have got a different opinion in some later times with him, but that's sort of seemingly down to issues off the pitch. But when he's on form and when he's happy, he's such a player, and he could be massive for us. When you look at the individuals that we've now got, I mean, and the we've got game in hand, all that kind of stuff, 2 points more than QPR, but there's no excuse.
No, there isn't.
There's no excuse.
There isn't. There's too many players in that. I mean, to think about the fact that Gary Cahill can't get in the team, he's not one of our best two centre halves. Is madness. We just spoke about that. We've got 3 great right backs available. Freddie Woodman sat on the bench on loan from Newcastle. We're without Lerma. Oh no, we'll put Lewis Cook in then, and Pearson will still be sat on the bench. Billing, Cantwell, Marcondes, Ujawant, Ryan Christie, Dom Solanke. Kiefer Moore's injured, but we've got him available for the end of the season. Yeah, the squad's outrageous, and Cantwell, I'm not being funny, everyone knows his footballing ability. He's Premier League. And we've got a few like that. It's just getting the best out of them. But yeah, no excuses now, mate. As I said, we've got points on the board, plus games in hand.
When we were talking about Todd Cantwell, by the way, the lighting was green and yellow, and that's done completely on purpose. It's amazing how we can do that now.
Oh, we are levels above it. Sometimes I don't know how you do it. I don't even notice you doing it.
Well, shall we pick the team out then ahead of the game?
Yeah, we might as well.
Okay then, let's do it by the magic of pressing this little button here. There we go, there's the football pitch, and there's the 11 empty names in the formation that we think they're going to be played in on Saturday afternoon. Dean Core, shall we go through them one by one then? Firstly, goalkeeper, let me guess.
Well, it's got to be Mark Travers, match, last 2 games. Probably, you could argue, our player of the season so far. He's got to be in goal.
Yeah. Right back, with the players coming back in, you just wonder how soon, are they ready straight away? Or do you think they'll probably be on the bench or something? I don't know. Or do you think we could have a surprise starter for this one?
I do, actually.
Do you?
I think the nice thing about it is I think I would take any of them. I think they're all... Yeah. If Stacey gets it, I go, right, sure, shut you lose, happy days. And if the other 2 get it, I think, well, I'd like to see Laird, he's supposed to be quality, and I know what Smith can give us. I think what makes me think Smith will play, I'm going to go Adam Smith, whether it's under Eddie Howe, whether it's under Jason Tindall, whether it's under Jonathan Woodgate, whether it's under Scott Parker. If Adam Smith's fit, he plays. He's either injured or he's playing. He's very rarely on the sub bench. Very rarely.
Do you think he'll deal better? Look, this may be stereotypical of me, but Stoke have always been a physical side.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the kind of player that will deal with that better?
In a way, because I think he wins clever fouls.
That's what I was about to say. He knows how to play the game, doesn't he?
I don't know whether it's because of his size or things like that. People forget how experienced this guy is, and how crucial he's been for us over the years. And I just think Scott will look at it and go, if Adam Smith's available with that experience, he can come in and maybe he'll play 60 minutes and hopefully we'll have a job done. You can bring one of the others on, and as I say, this is just my prediction. I'm not even sure who I would, because it's difficult for us because we don't know how fit the other 2 are. But I'd be happy with any of them. I think we can almost go into this with these 3 right backs and kind of go game dependent. And I just think if he's fully fit, I think he'll use his experience at home, and I think he's going to go Adam Smith.
Okay, left side, Jordan Zamora, I'm presuming.
Yeah, it's got to be Jay-Z, and as I've mentioned before, I think Leif Davis has been good, and I think he's an option actually, and I think he's improved.
Good competition.
Yeah, I think he's improved with every game he's played for us, but Jay-Z's still ahead.
I thought for the short amount of time he was on the pitch against Blackpool, I thought he did very well. Jay-Z's crossing wasn't up to scratch really, but as long as we've got these players who are going to constantly push him, then I'm happy with that.
I always felt it's a shame that Kiefer Moore's got that injury, because I always felt that in a game, say we needed a goal and we needed to go a little bit more direct, that double change, you could bring on Moore and Davis, because Davis is more likely to whip balls in.
Yeah.
And I think that would be crucial come the end of the season. We saw that at Blackpool, as you say. When we were trying to get some more balls in the box, we chucked Nat Phillips up front. He brought on Leif Davis, because I think he's probably got a better delivery than Jay-Z. And just naturally a bit more, likely to whip in a ball. But Jay-Z to start.
All right, at the back, I'm guessing the two that you're going to say, but I'll let you say them.
Yeah, we haven't really heard about KO anyway. I don't know if he's out or not. But even if he is available, I don't expect him to start. It's going to be Nat Phillips and Lloyd Kelly. Give them time to, get a real pairing going there, and I think they will. I think they'll be the two to the end of the season unless we get any injuries. So Nat Phillips and Lloyd Kelly, skipper.
Just as a side note, do you think any of the people that we got on loan at the moment that could be signed permanently?
Talk Cantwell if we go up. I think we have got options.
Nat Phillips probably not.
No, I think if we were to, regardless actually, if we were to go up or stay down, I think there may be a chance we get him for another season on loan. Because Liverpool are so strong, but I don't think they would sell him. I think they'd still want to. They don't need to sell, so I think they'd be like, we'll let you have him till January again, maybe. I think Laird, by the sounds of it, looks like that's an option. I don't think he's ever going to go back and play for Man U. No. It would be, be an interesting one. I think if we're in the Championship, it depends how well he does. If he comes in, does really well, and we don't go up, Man U might go, actually, we think he could be better going to another Premier League side. So that wouldn't surprise me either. But I think definitely Cantwell, if we were to get the job done, looks like that would be done. But
it's quite nice that we're the size of club that the big six or whatever can look down at us and just say, actually, it was fine. It's not like you're selling to a rival.
Exactly.
And hopefully we'll be playing a brand of football that matches the team that they've left.
Yeah.
So that when they do come back in, they can hit the ground running. So happy with that. Okay. I presume then we're not doing the double pivot and we're just playing the one in front, in which case the deep line player.
Yeah, I think a lot of people said it before the Blackpool game that it probably wanted Ben Pearson, but Lewis Cook was brilliant. He was brilliant against Blackpool.
It was good.
I know it feels like a long time ago, but it was our last game.
When was that? Was it 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah. Feels like ages, doesn't it?
That's our last game?
Yeah, Blackpool.
We've had to fill it with Eastleigh in the under-18s just to keep our football hunger.
Just to keep that appetite going, mate. But yeah, he was very good on the day, I thought, and that is his natural position. And at home as well, I feel he'll get on the ball and try and make things happen. So I think we'll have Lewis Cook in that deep role, and hopefully we'll be winning the game, and then we might be able to bring Ben Pearson on the short up. But I think it's going to be Lewis.
Okay, just ahead of him, I'm guessing Billing on the left-hand side, Cantwell on the right.
Yeah, got to be them two for me. They've been really good in them roles. Billing's an interesting one because we actually took him off against Blackpool and looked better for it. I thought Marcondes was really good when he come on.
I thought he did.
The problem with Marcondes is Yeovil aside, which is no disrespect to Yeovil, but it's a non-league side. He always looks better when he comes on.
Yeah.
When he starts games, I'm not sure. Billing's definitely been off it lately, and that probably coincides with a knock he had. But if Billing's fit, Billing starts. You rarely see Billing on the bench. So but Marcondes is a good option. I hope he won't go for like a double pivot and just Cantwell. But I'm expecting it to be Cantwell and Billing kind of advanced of Lewis Cook in that three. And hopefully we'll be winning the game, and one of them two will come off Pearson and short up.
I'm guessing I know who you're going to pick for the wide players, but I'll let you say them. Go on.
Yeah, well, hearing that Christie's out, it's got to be Jane Anthony and Dembele.
Yeah.
I think it will probably be like he did against Blackpool, and Anthony will go to that right-hand side. And Dembele stay on the left. When we done the preview for the Forest game, that obviously didn't happen, I switched them because I felt Jed Spence was a real threat for Forest, and it would be easier to have Anthony over on that left-hand side. I think the nice thing about Dembele and Anthony is they could quite easily swap and kind of keep them guessing, and we know Anthony's partnership with Zamora. But Dembele done really well off that left-hand side against Blackpool. So, I think it will be Anthony and Dembele. I think they could change throughout the game, but I think we'll probably start with Anthony on the right.
Do you feel a bit sorry, or not sorry, but Jamal Lowe, I mean, his stats are pretty good, really, in terms of his contributions to goals. Yet he's seemingly always overlooked in that way. He's another one of these players that seemingly is better when he comes on rather than starts.
Just about to say that, similar to Marcondes, he done it again against Blackpool, quite impact. And to be fair, because of Kiefer Moore's injury, he's going to be vital in that. I mean, when Moore was available for that one game, Lowe didn't make the squad, which said a lot. I think the problem with Lowe is he's not a wide man, but I don't see him as a 9 either.
No.
So he struggles because he's in that in-between, but he's got that versatility. But what I would say to Jamal Lowe, if he was sat in now, you had your opportunity against a couple of non-league sides. You didn't score in either, and I don't think you performed very well in either. And that was your chance to stake a claim. I don't think he quite done that. Having said that, if we were to go up this season, I think I'd look at it and go, when he was called upon, he put a shift in for us and he was good for the squad. And if we need a goal, like we did against Blackpool, if we need a goal against Stoke, I'm well happy with Jamal Lowe coming on. Because I quite like him when he's with Solanke.
Yeah.
I just don't see him on his own up there. I don't see him as a wide man.
He's not a replacement, is he?
No, but I like him in the squad. I like him coming off the bench. And he's proven at Swansea he can score goals at this level. Proved it in our last game. So Lowe would be an option off the bench if we need him.
Okay, and up front then?
Ooh, Sadie's gone. Yeah, Big Dom got the winner against him last time, and he's had a few games without a goal now. So
this is the one.
Yeah, hopefully, because he's got 20 all competitions, but he's still waiting for that 20th in the league, which he's been questioned in the past that he'll never get. So yeah, he's going to get it, and hopefully it'll come this weekend.
I feel that this is a pressure fixture. Because like you said earlier, I know that you were talking to a number of people on Twitter about this, saying that yes, you said that we've got games in hand, and there were a few people that came back to you saying rather have points. Of course we would. However, obviously that means that these 3 games that we need to catch up on, there's so much pressure on them, on us to get, and perhaps otherwise we wouldn't have had this pressure. But I feel as though, I just hope it isn't so pressured that the players don't play naturally. So they need to just play and just express themselves. And look, we should win, but it's not guaranteed. But it's going to be a bloody hard game.
It is. The confidence I've got is the fact of our last home game against Birmingham, and until the sending off, we still won the game. But until the sending off, we played, as you say, they expressed themselves. We had Cantwell and Billy. They didn't look like they just got booed off at the last home game, and they come out and they were brilliant from the off. So it shows they've got that in them. So that gives me confidence. I think the fixture's coming up. I agree with what you say. It's a massive game because Peterborough coming up in our next home game. We saw away from home. They're a team low block, going to be really frustrating. Preston, Derby, probably the 2 teams in the league with our worst record.
Yeah.
I feel like we never beat Derby. I feel like we never beat Preston.
I can't remember the last time we beat Derby.
No, exactly. And Preston are a bogey team as well. Yeah. It puts more pressure on this game, definitely. The fact we've had a bit of a break puts pressure on the game, and the fact we're at home and the fact that teams are slipping up. But as you mentioned, points on the board you'd rather have than games in hand. We have got both. Yeah. If the season ended now, we're up and we've got 2, 3, 4 games in hand on teams. So we've got both. We're in an unbelievable position, and we just got to make sure we don't get into squeaky bum time and end up losing at home to Stoke and start putting more pressure on ourselves. So fast start.
We haven't even been that good to be in this position. So now it's time for the lads to actually deliver a performance as well. And you know what? We could cruise it. It. And that's how we need to. We should be with the quality of players that we've got. But there we go, mate. That's the preview.
All done and dusted.
Finally, we've done a pod in a pod.
Oh, thank God for that. It took a while, didn't it? If the game's off now, we'll be fine. Nah, looking forward to it, mate. Confident. Come on, you Reds. Look, thanks once again to the guys at the Pear at Parley. The link is below if you want to hire one of these pods for a 4-hour slot, either during the afternoon or during the evening. It is beautiful. What a way! £10 a person as well. I didn't actually know until you said it on here. That's decent. That is decent. What? A couple of points extra. Do you know what I mean? To get in a place like this is lovely. There, honestly, really spacious as well. So yeah, get down there.
Yeah, find out all the information on their website down below and give them a call to rent one of these. Right. Next time I'll be seeing you, mate, is at Dean Court, I suppose.
Oh, get in there, mate. Fancy a pint before the game?
No, I'll have a J2O.
No.
See ya.
Come on!
Oh, pod in a pod.